Libra, hello, and welcome to your December 2020 reading. This is going to be the last month in the series that I did for October, November, and December. I do quarterly readings, check-in every month, and then I also do a check-in on that check-in during the mid-month reading. So if you have not seen your overall quarterly reading, you can find that in my playlist. We're just going to dive right in here for December of 2020. Last month, for a lot of you, you had the energy of doing everything right. When I did the overall monthly reading and also the mid-month reading, all of you were doing super duper well. And it looks like this month I've got all the cards laid out. It looks like that's continuing. There is a little bit of I don't want to call it resistance, but for some of you, emotional backtracking a little bit of holding on to maybe what you've been building for whatever reason. We'll dive in and find out why. But we're going to be looking at the overall energy for the month. We are going to be looking at the obstacle that you have and then some advice from Spirit, all right? The overall energy and what came in at the bottom of the deck was this Knight of Wands right here. And so with the other cards that are laid out, I mean, it's kind of telling what might be going on, and most of it is going to be in the challenge here. And really what it had to do with what you're building. It's now time to share that, but there's a little bit of resistance for some reason. Coming over here to the overall message, what you're looking at this month is nourishment. You've got this beautiful, beautiful nourishment card, abundance. In the challenge position, we've got hunger. So how appropriate, right? It's like we've got the nourishment and we've got the hunger card. And earlier, I was talking to my son, and he had stated something like "stay hungry," and I really liked that. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, can I steal that from you? And he's like, sure, go ahead. And this card also popped up for Aquarius as well for this month. And then the advice from Spirit is the Peace card. So that is absolutely lovely. And I am going to take just a second here. I am dominated by furry creatures in my life, and I have one at the door that wants to come in, so excuse me for just uno momento. All right, all taken care of. So under this nourishment card right here, you know, it looks like you've accomplished a lot and you're looking at everything before you and just celebrating, right? And for some of you, you're also needing some nourishment, because what came up under this card was the Six of Swords. So this is a movement card. Some of you may be moving somewhat, some of you may be traveling on, some of you may be changing what you've been doing and moving on to new endeavors, right? And that kind of showed up in the last month reading as well. And under that, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This whole reading looks like it. There's a lot of business and a lot of money going on right here. But both of these cards are in the reverse. And so what this is indicating to me with this nourishment card, with the Six of Swords of, you know, moving on to different waters, it's like you're holding, some of you are holding on and not sharing a lot right now. And, you know, as we enter into the winter months, it is kind of gathering what we have to kind of go into hibernation mode. I am going to clarify why these are in the reverse, because last month it was all about abundance and sharing and doing everything right. And then under this nourishment card, we've got traveling on, moving on, and then an energy of holding on for some reason for planetary purposes. So let's just kind of take a peek here and see where these pentacles are being held up for you. What is the hold up here? All right, so some of you are needing to just release some burdens. You got the Ten of Wands here in the reverse. That's an ending of a cycle, but it is in the reverse, so there's kind of a resistance. Maybe some of you have had to move on reluctantly moving on, and so you're kind of holding on to what you have close to you because things are in transition. Yeah, we also got the Four of Pentacles again on top of the Four of Pentacles. So there is a clear message right here that a lot of you are just unwilling to release. And another message that I got here, you know, there's an energy about money, and it too likes to flow. It likes to move. And so when we move money, money comes to us as well. It's this very fluid energy. It's like sometimes money comes and sometimes money goes. But when we're trying to manifest money, it's like holding on is telling the universe that we don't have enough. And perhaps some of you don't. This has been kind of a whack year with a lot of losses right here. But there is an indication here that you might be getting stuck in that place where you're not sharing, because the last clarifying card that came up is this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse as well. So it's like whatever you were working on, for a lot of you, you just stopped it, just put the kibosh on it. And again, perhaps you had to, because you're having to nourish other areas of your life, or you might have to be taking a look at what you've been creating and maybe it's not producing what you thought it would. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and see what the holdup is here. And I can see why in the challenge that would kind of leave you feeling a bit hungry, right? We have the Death card, that's about transition. We've got the Moon in reverse, and we've also got the Three of Pentacles. So, yeah, it looks like something has happened here for you guys, and also like a call for education as well. A lot of you may be feeling kind of stuck and blocked here with this Death card. That's about metamorphosis and change, and a big change, right? That's like going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Those are two very different creatures, and in between that is a transition of just this very quiet space where things are broken down even to like a gelatinous state where you can't really define what's going on in there. Something is going on in there, but it is a very divine transition that is happening. And with this Moon card right here, especially in the reverse, a lot of you may not be able to plug into your higher power right now. The Moon energy is an extremely feminine type of energy. That does illuminate, but not as bright as the sun. So it's like you have to dig a little bit deeper and search a little bit better. You know, it's the inner depths of our psyche. And with it in the reverse, some of you may be feeling a little bit stuck of, gosh, how do I even get there, right? And the Three of Pentacles, usually this is a collaborative type of card, working with other people, but it's also higher learning and education as well. So if you were working on something and it's not producing what you want it to produce, what I'm feeling is research it a little bit more, right? Especially with this Moon in the reverse, it's like the answer is out there. Just dig a little bit deeper for it. Under the challenge for the month, again, you've got this Hunger card. And staying hungry is really, really good, right? Because it pushes us and encourages us to go out and create that abundance, you know, to fill that cup. And you actually do have the Ace of Cups down here on the board, but it is in the reverse. You also have the Five of Wands and you have the Six of Pentacles. So there is some balance here, and I can see that balance is what you're striving for, but you're having some challenges, you know, with this Five of Wands right here. It almost feels to me like an inner battle. It could be external type of battles, but looking at what's going on over here in the overall, needing to do a little bit more research, having to dig into yourself a little bit more. These could be like a battle, but this is also a training card as well. You know, this card is often read as combative people, immature type of quarreling, but it's also training. You know, this young energy, because these are young energy right here, young masculine energy, but in training. And so if you started a new endeavor, because the Nine of Pentacles, you know, can be indicative of an entrepreneur that is starting something new, that has the ability to be very fortuitous and very solid, but it takes education to get there, and it does take training to get there. And so other than, I mean, some of you may be experiencing some combative behavior out there, because there's just a lot of it out there right now, but I'm really feeling like this is more training yourself, taking the time and going through that training, because we have this Ace of Cups that's in the reverse as well. And so there's a little bit of an imbalance here with the spiritual side of yourself, because the cups are indicative of those internal energies where, you know, when our cups are full, they spilleth over, right? And that is that natural flow of being able to fill ourselves up spiritually, mentally, physically in this 3D realm, to where it's literally overflowing and we don't even have to try. It's a very giving type of energy, first with the self. And you know, if your cup is empty right now, or if you're having trouble filling it, it's kind of no wonder why some of you may be feeling a little bit hungry right there. And I am going to clarify this Ace of Cups and see why this is in the reverse. For Libra in December, please clarify this Ace of Cups right here for them. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, right? That's awesome. I like that. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this is very much having to do with planetary stability. And then we've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So a lot of you, it's mental stuff that you're putting yourself through, because the abundance is here. The ideas are here. I mean, when you've got the Ace and the Page together, these are absolutely new ideas and seeds being planted for manifestation. You know, these are manifestation cards. The pages can also be messages, because pages are messengers. They're the ones that run around and, you know, do what the king and queen demand them to do and scroll everything out. But it is a very young energy, almost like an apprentice, you know. So if any of you are starting a new endeavor, especially with this education card of the Three of Pentacles and this training card from the Five of Wands, you very well could be moving through a period where you want things to come to fruition now, but it's actually going to take a little bit more work. And it looks like you're kind of getting up in your head about that, you know. So I know that you're hungry for this, but you can feed yourself through that exploration of what it is that you actually want. Get very, very clear on what you want. Get the mental confusion and debris out of the way. so you can think very clearly, so that cup can start filling up. So the little things that you do, whether it's higher education, whether it's your training purposes here, that too feeds you, right? And then for the advice from Spirit is absolutely be at peace with yourself. Trust what's happening, because you've got some great cards under this one. You've got the Six of Wands with absolute victory card. You've got the Temperance card. It is in the reverse. So it is, you know, Spirit is acknowledging where you're having trouble with that alchemical balance, right? Because the Temperance card, Major Arcana, is all about that balance between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. The Temperance card reminds me a lot of the Magician, you know, because both of them are masters at the elements of the universe. They've been around for a very, very long time. They're masters in the Major Arcana. And with the Temperance card in the reverse right here, it's like your spirit guides are letting you know that putting that into balance a little bit more would be fortuitous for you, because the last card in this reading is this Ace of Pentacles. And so that has shown up twice. It came in under your challenge, but then it also came up under your advice from Spirit. And so Spirit is letting you know, Libra, this doesn't have to be a challenge. If you balance some stuff out and dig a little bit deeper into what it is and become clear, you know, start using that magic within you, start using those manifestation skills. Watch your thoughts, because your thoughts, it's in and of itself, that's where manifestation and creation starts. As soon as you have a thought, it plants a seed, right? And then if it's verbalized or if it's written or you take action on it, that is when the manifestation really starts coming about. So be very careful with what your thoughts are like. You know, make sure that your thoughts are peaceful. If you are working through some things that aren't so positive, it's balance that out. You know, give what you want to manifest way more energy than the stuff that you have to deal with, because in the little details and the frustration type of details and those negative type of behaviors and thinking, it just manifests more of that. So keep that minimal and put most of your energy into actually what you want to build for yourself and what you want to see, okay? And I am going to clarify this Temperance card for you to see if it can give us any guidance of how you can turn that around. A lot of it is just choice and focus. You know, pull out some paper, write your gratitudes, be very clear what you want to manifest here, and let this Temperance go to work for you. Yeah, because when you do, you know, this is what's inside you, and I know that this is what you're manifesting. And last month you were doing everything right. So I don't know if you started questioning yourself, or again, it almost seems like the energy that you were putting out isn't bringing in what you thought it would. And that's okay. That happens sometimes. This is the point where you look back at what you've been doing and kind of analyze what didn't work, and look at the things that were working and put more energy into that, because this is very possible. It's down on the board. You've got the Ace of Pentacles down on the board here. You've got the Star. It is in reverse here, but this is wishes coming true, wishes fulfilled. And so I have a feeling it's just that little blockage. It's not big. It doesn't look big. It looks like it's all mental to me. Because this is kind of where you're at right here. You know, it's like, well, darn, I put all this energy into these cups and I've only got 3 of them when I thought that I would have 10 by now. But the universe is giving you one, and you're so stuck in your head, some of you, you're not seeing that there's actually more gifts there for you, okay? So give yourself a break. Take a break. Nourish yourself. Nourish your spirit. Stay hungry in your endeavors, because things are looking really bright here. I mean, you've got a lot of money down here on the board and a lot of opportunity. So I'm going to pull a couple of closing cards for you. For Libra, December of 2020. Happy holidays, by the way. I hope all of you are doing well. All right, let's see what we have for closing messages for Libra. We've got boundaries and we've also got gratitude. So what was I saying, right? It's like, make a list of your gratitude. This too can also feed a hungry spirit and a hungry soul, right? Is taking stock of what you actually have. You may not have everything that you want or what you thought it would look like at this point in time, but there's a lot there. And then as far as your boundaries, it's like, know where your limits are, both external and internal. This is a very internal type of reading right here. So I have a feeling that this is taking stock and being aware of where your limitations are and accepting that for what it is. And if you don't like those boundaries, there are ways, like through this education and through this training right here, where you can bust through those obstacles and bust through those boundaries, all right? Because in all honesty, none of us are bound and none of us are trapped. We are all master manifestors, and we can create and have whatever we want once we understand how our boundaries and how our obstacles are self-created. And again, this card right here tells me that a lot of you are just kind of in your head. All right. All right, Libra, I am going to leave it there. I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe now and hit the bell, because in a couple weeks, we're going to come back and check on the situation for you, all right? So for all of you out there, happy holidays, be well, and stay well.